Confined space. And we basically limited to underground vaults, storage bins, manholes, pits, silos, pipelines, and that type of thing. They cover it and they discuss it in page 113 to 114. What OSHA talks about is a permit required confined space. Typically, particularly on a big site, as particularly as a construction manager, I've been over the years and stuff like that. We have we have every confined space identified, and we have a permit related, all the conditions related to that particular, could be a manhole, could be a tank, okay, something to do with pipe. So we have all these listed. We usually have a little map of the facility, show you where they all are, and you have all these different requirements related around this thing. The permit required, in other words, you can't go into the confined space until you get the paperwork set out, that type of thing. And typically confined space have hazardous atmospheres. No John Luetta's noise music, things that can engulf people and stuff like that. You see that a lot too in pipelines and sewer lines and that type of thing. And any recognized hazard and that type of thing, live wires, heat, that type of thing. So this is essentially kind of a snapshot of what you have. Okay, in this particular case, we've got somebody going down there welding. So you got gases and fumes, okay? So what's real important is you got your ventilation. So what the confined space permit does, a couple things in here. You have your entrant, this guy here, or gal, and this guy or gal up here is the attendant. So you got somebody there watching. You see the ladder and that type of thing. So this person is watching this person. Of course, this person is really watching what they're doing. And above all of this is you have some type of an entry supervisor who's responsible to sign off on the permit, on a confined space permit. And typically what you have there too, you have in case there's an emergency. Here's, like, for instance, here's an alarm horn. I mean, today too you have alarms, but you have your radios and that type of thing and stuff like that. And typically what you do on this is the supervisor, before they go in, will take a review of the site to make sure that it all coincides to what's related to the permit. And the confined space permit typically has all the things you need to watch out for and that type of thing. And also things like here's your words, SCBA, equipment, that type of thing. And also in case you have to get what if you have an issue, what's the chain of command? Who do you call? You don't call Ghostbusters. You basically get a hold of the supervisor that make the decisions. I mean, it's a real serious thing. If somebody gets hurt and they're bleeding or something like that, I mean, the whole thing. I mean, you follow the safety precautions and that type of thing. OSHA has basically set up the standards on these with the compliance. Okay. Really, one of our real major concerns on confined space entry are the gases. For instance, ammonia, 50 part per million. Okay. Hydrogen sulfide, irritating at 10 part per million. Deadly at real high concentrations, that's your rotten egg over. And methane, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. Probably one of the worst things that are out there is that carbon monoxide. You see a lot of those poisonings at this time of year. People running their generators and stuff like that. But anyway, the key takeaway on this one, a little more detail on that, is, and this is just kind of a rule of thumb, typically want to ventilate with confined space, at least change 4 volume changes per hour. We talked a little bit about that with our indoor air quality, that type of thing. But that's typically what you have as a minimum. Again, it depends upon the site and that type of thing. You all familiar with that, right? The 4 volumes. Okay. If you look at this here, okay, whatever volume this would be, okay, you want at least 4 changes per hour, okay, and typically even more. Okay, and the air that goes in there, okay. Here's you got a gas extractor, but you also got air being pumped in, that type of thing. So you don't have it under negative pressure.